Why is that muted? It was muted. Why was that muted? Okay, I'm getting it now. It was muted. The audio mixer was muted. I don't know why.
I think the audio is still.
Where's the mute stuff on this board?
Huh?
How do you mute this board?
You can't. It's a little annoying. There's no mute buttons. That's super loud. That's like really, really loud.
Should I turn it down in here or no? Have it on?
No, because the thing is we have to stay out of the red. As soon as Perri starts talking, it's going to jump into the red.
Hello, hello, hello.
Actually, it's not.
It's not?
Hello, 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 hello.
Talk at your normal volume.
Talking at my normal volume.
Yeah.
Brings it into the red a little bit.
You do not want that.
Because that's when the mic starts to crackle.
Yeah. Oh my god! It just like screams.
Yeah.
Talk at your normal volume.
Alright. No good?
Nope, our camera's not fixed, but I can still do
You
one.
can
I
go
can,
down
yeah,
and
I can go, yeah. You guys ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. Today, the YD Red Sox are taking on the Chatham Anglers at home. I'm Perri Kitei alongside Luke West, Poley Luke. Yesterday, the Red Sox had an incredible day at the plate, winning 14-6 in Falmouth against the Commodores. But once again, as has been the case the past few games, they go up big early, the other team comes back, ties the game, and then YD manages to pull it out at the end yesterday in dramatic fashion with a 7th run, 8th inning. What do you think is the cause behind this pattern?
Yeah, I think it might just be a little bit of guys running out of gas towards the end of their starts. We're seeing some pitchers that are going pretty deep in games for YD. For the Red Sox yesterday, it was Matt Fernandez who pitched really solidly through the opening few innings, and then as he started to kind of run out of energy towards the end, that was when things fell off the rails, and he ended up giving up those 5 earned runs in the 5th. But I think it's good to see that you are playing that complementary baseball right now. Your offense is picking up your pitching, and your pitching has picked up your offense, especially over these past couple of games, and it's shown on the scoreboard now with 2 back-to-back wins.
And speaking of pitching, let's talk about Hector Garcia, the NAIA player out of Hope International University. Stepped up on the bump yesterday for 2 1/3, did not allow a single base runner. He was absolutely incredible in the 9th inning because Scott Pickler then wanted to put in everyone off the bench. He basically cleared the bench with pinch hitters and threw in Leighton Finley out of Georgia for his first time around. He cleaned things up nicely then as well. So relief pitching certainly been stepping up yesterday and the day before as well.
Yeah, relief pitching has been really good. Garcia actually got the win yesterday coming out of the bullpen for YD. Did not allow a base runner, had 3 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings, and I think that's been a real strength of this team through the first couple of games. You look at how things have transpired, even in the 2 losses. It was later on in games when YD started to make their money, and now some of those comebacks that we've seen, and I think a lot of that is due in part to this relief pitching that we've seen from Scott Pickler's bullpen.
So let's talk about the Chatham Anglers, our East Division rivals. Coming here today, it's the first time we're seeing each other this season. The Anglers today, starting on the mound for them, will be Eric Hammond, who plays at the University of Southern California. We've still got a few more minutes to go before game time, but let's talk about our starting pitchers, what we think we're going to see from them today, starting things off here at Smith Pinson on the other side for the Red Sox.
Yeah, Smith Pinson out of Kennesaw State, one of a couple of Owls on this roster for YD. 17 straight scoreless innings to start his collegiate season. He's a big, big man on the mound, 6'8", 230 pounds for Pinson. A really fun guy to watch pitch out there for Scott Pickler. Very excited to see what he can do today against a really strong guy on the other side in Eric Hammond. He was a 19th round pick out of high school by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the MLB draft. Redshirted his freshman year. This past season was his first collegiately at USC. Went 3-4 with a 4.82 ERA. Look for a fastball in the lower 90s. He throws that changeup a lot as well, mixes in a slider and ever so slightly a curveball as well. Just very rare to see some of those off-speed pitches. He's very, very fastball heavy, very changeup heavy. Eric Hammond out of USC.
YD is taking the field today. It's Flag Day, so we had a pledge of allegiance prior to the game to honor that day and honor the United States. This is Smith Vincent's second time starting a game for the Red Sox this season. In his first game, had a slow outing to begin, but settled in those later innings a little bit more.
Yeah, Smith Vincent, a guy that very noticeable out there on the mound. Obviously mentioned that big frame, looking to settle in here for YD in this fifth game. Look to get the Red Sox over 500 here on the season.
So going around the lineups, YD in the field today, it's Hunter Hines on first. He and Jacob Christian have been switching back and forth in that first base and DH spots today. Jacob Christian in the DH spot. Around the horn, it's Brady Day at second, Collier Cranford at short, Max Vieira on third. Will King behind the plate and going across from left to right in the outfield, it's Nathan Archer, Enzo Apodaca, and Casey Cook. We'll be right back at the start of this game. We'll head to a quick break before we get things going at the top of the first. What's going on?
It's a change.
So low. Like this soundboard is so low.
Yeah.
All right, are we able to come back? Jesus.
Yeah.
Just go to is the behind the plate cam working?
Nope.
No?
No, it's cutting it now. 1 second. 3. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
Stepping up to the plate is Sam Antonacci, leading things off for the Anglers. Number 49 playing shortstop today. He takes ball one on the outside from Pinson. Antonacci plays at Heartland Community College. Batted .515. Fouls one up behind the plate for strike one. It's an overcast day here, hovering around 70 degrees in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Pinson places a fastball on the outside corner for strike two. Antonacci rounds it up towards second, and Day makes the play cleanly over to Hunter Hines, out number one for the Red Sox. Behind him, Caden Kent, the left fielder, was added to the roster just this morning for the Anglers. Kent, blooper into left field. That's a base hit. Archer picks it up, relays it in. The Anglers have their first base runner after a soft pop-up to left field, finds the outfield grass. Moving our way down the line, Jansen Reeder, the outfielder, up for his first time around, batting in the 3 spot. In his first 3 games, he's 2 for 13 with a home run and 2 runs scored. Pinson deals. Reeder fouled back out of play. Pinson checks his runner on first. Short lead from Kent. Pitch on the way. And it gets past Will King on a deflection. So Kent takes second on that pass ball. One and one count with 1 out to Jansen Reeder. out of the University of Kansas, the Jayhawks. 2023, he was a Rawlings All-Central Region second-team player. Chops it foul up the first baseline. He was also an All-Big 12 first-team selection as a designated hitter. One ball, two strikes on Reader. Kent on second. Pinson checks his runner. The 1-2 popped up into foul territory. Vieira trying to make a play on it. And he does. Makes the catch in foul territory, out number 2.
It's been an interesting spot out there in left field. It's the second pop-out we've seen in foul territory this season. Really, really deep, where we've seen Vieira cover a lot of ground, made that catch over the shoulder.
There's a lot of foul territory on both sides of the lines here, and if the ball can hang in the air for enough time, first base, third base definitely has a chance on a lot of these plays. Strike one to Lyle Miller Green, the right fielder, out of Austin Peay, transferred from Oklahoma State. Last season, he played for the Anglers, and he actually won the 2022 Cape Cod League Home Run Derby. Runner goes. Pinson catches him in the rundown on that throw to third. He's still caught in the middle. Pinson tags him out in the middle of the base paths. Not sure what Caden Kent was thinking. I think he thought Pinson was about to deal the pitch, and so he left early, but Pinson still had control, so that's out number 3. Caden Kent caught in the rundown. Lyle Miller Green will have another chance at the plate in inning number 2, but right now things are tied at 0 as we head to the bottom of the first on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Leading off for the Red Sox, Nathan Archer. He's hit 2 home runs in the last 2 days, both to deep center field. He faces Eric Hammond at the plate today. Swings at the first pitch, chopped up towards second, fielded, and the play is made by Jared Sprague. Lot, 1 pitch, 1 out for the Anglers.
Yeah, he's seen the ball really, really well lately. He's been hitting it hard. This is another guy who's been hitting the ball hard, Will King.
King has been phenomenal for for the Red Sox, particularly in clutch situations. Hammers this out to left center field. It drops, heading towards the fence, and it gets there. King heading for two. Slides in safely, but could have done that standing. Will King attacks the first pitch of his at-bat, and the Red Sox have a runner on second base.
First extra base hit of the season, too, for Will King. It was all singles up to that point. Hard to believe with how many hits that he had, but finally gets that gap shot, and Will King has himself a double.
Brings up Casey Cook out of North Carolina. He came up huge for the Red Sox yesterday with a bases-clearing 3 RBI double. This is just Cook's second game for the Red Sox. He joined us late after grounds it up towards first. A diving play is made, but the runner is safe. King advances to third. So first baseman Ballestero laid out, makes the play, flips it over to his second baseman, Sprague Glott, who tripped, running over to first base, fell on the ground. Because of that, his foot missed the bag. Cook runs it out. So an error has 2 runners on base for the Red Sox with 1 out, and Max Vieira at the plate. Vieira swings on the first one, and that's dropping into left field. The liner will score. Will King, the Red Sox strike first. They lead 1-0.
It's a rope from Vieira. It's just line drives right now for YD. Everybody who's put the ball in play has done so pretty hard. And now another guy who's been seeing the ball well lately. It seems like that's everybody in the lineup for YD, but perhaps nobody better right now than Hunter Hines.
Hunter Hines, a certified big hitter power bat out of Mississippi State. First team all SEC selection. Takes outside for ball 1. Runners on first and second for the Red Sox. Counts 1-0 with 1 out to Hunter Hines. He swings through, strike 1. Hammond checks his runners on second, deals. Hines swings through again, strike 2. He's just under these. Can't find the barrel to the ball yet. Counts 1-2.
Yeah, it might have been that changeup. Imagine it's pretty heavy changeup to left-handed hitters here like Hines.
This time, grounds it up to first, and it's mishandled, but collected safely by Ballestero. Almost had his second error in just as many batters, but manages to collect it in time, bobbled it on the pickup, tossed it over to Sprague Glott for the putout. 2 outs, runners do advance, so the force is no longer in play. It's Vieira on second, Cook on third for Brady Day, the second baseman. Day holds off on the first ball outside. Second pitch on the way, just clips the outside of the zone. Hammond's hat fell off in the process. One and one to Brady Day. Hammond, pitch on the way, outside, ball 2. Big lead from Vieira on second. Small lead from Cook on third. Day, big cut, missed the ball, strike 2, things are even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the first at Red Wilson Field, the Red Sox lead the Anglers 1-0.
A lot of room up the middle if they can get it there.
Low and inside, Day raises a hand to hold off his runners, and the count runs full, the first full count we've seen today. Hammond shakes his shoulders, nods the pitch. Glove at the letters, pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, strikes him out, that'll end the inning. The Red Sox lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Back for the top of the second, Lyle Miller Green back for his second try as that bat was interrupted. Hammers it out towards center field. And that ball is out of here. The YD outfielders didn't even move. And Lyle Miller Green takes advantage of his second time at the plate. The Anglers strike back quickly. Things are tied 1-1 here at Red Wilson Field.
Hit 16 of those during the college season, and that ball was crushed. We've seen a lot of center field home runs here at Red Wilson. It's no secret that this plays as one of the smallest ballparks in this league, and that ball would have got out, I think, pretty much anywhere.
Pinson deals an off speed to Kyson Donahue, fouls it off for strike 1. The sound off the bat was so crisp, not a single YD player even moved an inch. They knew that ball was gone. Because of the overcast clouds here, I lost it for a second, but I definitely saw it bounce on the ground in the trees out there. Very hard hit ball from Miller Green. Donahue swings through, strike 2. Pinson, pitch on the way. Called strike 3, kisses the outside corner, and the Red Sox have their first out of the inning.
I think Pinson's looked good through these first inning and a third, these 5 batters that he's faced. He got the pickoff after the base hit despite the home run. I think that was just a mistake where he left something a little bit too much over the plate. I think that things have worked pretty well for him so far.
First pitch ball to Mark Schallenberger. Schallenberger plays at Evansville in Indiana, out of St. Louis, Missouri. Swings into the right center gap. It drops before the fence. He's rounding first, headed to second. Picked up, the throw's coming in. Not in time from Casey Cook to Collier Cranford. A stand-up double for Schallenberger. Attacking early in the at-bat as well. The Anglers seeing the ball well right now. They have a runner in scoring position with just one out. A run scored off a monster home run from Lyle Miller Green. Now Logan Sauve, the catcher, at the plate for his first time around, batting in the 7th spot. Pinson deals. Floats above the zone, ball 1. Schallenberger's sizable lead at second, had 1 stolen base in 2023. This one's popped up towards center. Apodaca going back for it. Camped out under it, makes the catch. Runner trying to advance. Laser comes from Apodaca. Not in time. Schallenberger safe on third. The pop fly advances the runner. 2 outs now in the top of the 2nd.
It's another ball that carried deeper into the outfield than it looked like it was going to off the bat. That got almost all the way to the warning track. Apodaca didn't have much of a chance to get the runner at third.
Tate Ballestero takes ball 1 outside. Ballestero playing first base today. He plays at St. John's, the Red Storm in my native New York City. Ball 2 finds the dirt. Ballestero yet to record a hit through his first 2 games played here for the Anglers this summer. He does have a run scored thanks to 3 walks. Schallenberger on third, 2-0 count. Pitch on the way. Outside ball 3, back pick. Schallenberger safe. Pinson has to put one in here. I doubt we'll see a swing from Ballestero, particularly with that runner in such a threatening position on third. 3 balls, no strikes. And Pinson misses low. His first walk of the game. Ballestero trots down to first. King stepping out, making some signs towards Pinson. Only needed a few seconds of communication. The A's have reached the bottom of the order with Jared Sprague-Galot, the second baseman. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, top of the 2nd. First pitch on the way. Inside, almost hits him, ball 1. Five balls in a row now for Pinson. Pick off towards first, not in time. Pinson plays at Kennesaw State University. Had a 2.27 ERA, another pickoff back to first, not in time. Again, resets that pitch clock. He had 18 appearances out of the bullpen, just 1 start. 4 saves, 35 innings pitched total. The 1-0. Low. That's 6 balls in a row now.
Yeah, his walk numbers are pretty low. 35 strikeouts to 7 walks. Guy you can bring out in high leverage situations out of the bullpen. One of the best pitchers out of that pen for Kennesaw.
Pinson taking his time on the mound, just keeps tossing it back to first. It's not really a true pickoff attempt. He knows he has no chance on it, but it gives himself time to reset. The 2-0 on the way. Finds the zone, strike 1. The YD infield on the edge of that outfield grass. Cranford and Day on either side of second. That one's chopped up the middle towards second. Day steps on the bag, and that ends the inning. The Anglers tie things up here at Red Wilson Field. It's the Red Sox turn to respond as we head to the bottom of the second on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. The Red Sox back for their second time at the plate. It's the bottom of the second. Things are tied 1-1 between the Chatham Anglers and the YD Red Sox here at Red Wilson Field in South Yarmouth. Jacob Christian, the Division II National Player of the Year, designated hitter for YD today. Takes ball 1 low. Christian is 3 for 14 so far this season with a home run, 2 RBI. He had an unbelievable year at the plate for Point Loma Nazarene University out in California. Batted .408 with 28 home runs. And this one flies deep towards center. Going back to the fence, Schallenberger can't make the play. Christian rounding first and stands up at second. A well-hit ball, not enough to get out of the park, drops on the grass right before the fence. Schallenberger just got the leather to it, but couldn't catch the ball on that well-hit ball from Christian. So he's on second. The Red Sox have a leadoff runner aboard for Enzo Apodaca, the center fielder out of Gonzaga. He had a great day yesterday, Luke.
Yeah, he did. And they're going to give the double to Jacob Christian, but Apodaca with a really, really nice day. 4 for 4 in reaching base, 2 singles, 2 walks in the win.
Whiffs on the first pitch, strike 1.
He was the guy who came in hitless into the game yesterday. Tremendously talented, obviously, out of Gonzaga. Has had a couple solid years there. Really saw that come to fruition yesterday.
Hammond deals. Apodaca shows bunt. Fouls it off. That's strike 2. Faces an 0-2 count. Was trying to advance the runner there. Yesterday, we saw Coach Pickler lay down a few bunts in a row, loaded the bases for the Red Sox, part of their offensive masterclass. Apodaca swings soft contact up the middle, but it was actually fouled off his foot. The fact that it went almost out to the mound after that contact on his foot means it was hit pretty hard. He's limping this one off around the circle right now. Hit just the inside part of his ankle. And he steps back into the lefty batter's box, still facing an 0-2 count. Christian on second, no outs in the bottom of the second inning. Hammond checks. Pitch on the way. A dangerous take pays off, ball one. Fouled back again. Luke, we've seen a lot of long at-bats from these YD players. Even if they go down early, they've been fouling them off, taking balls in opportune moments. They've been making pitchers work for it.
Yeah, they've seen some good at-bats so far. I think this team has been pretty disciplined at the plate. In the early part of the season, your timing may not be 100%. You're going to see a lot of those foul balls.
Hard hit ball, foul down the first base line. 3 fouls in a row now for Apodaca. Counts still 1-2. Another 1-2 pitch on the way. Low, ball 2. Apodaca went down 0-2 in this at-bat, now facing his 8th pitch with the count evened up at 2-2. Hammond deals, fouled sharply down the first baseline, again identical to his last one.
He's getting some good wood on it, just needs to straighten that out. That's 2 shots down that first base line, like you said.
Apodaca inside and at the very back of this lefty's batter's box. Swings hard hit down the first baseline again and foul. This one had some air on it, but could not find fair territory. Pitch number 10 coming now to the center fielder out of Gonzaga from Arizona. A former All-West Coast Conference honorable mention and all-freshman team member in 2022. Hammers it down the first baseline fair and it drops. Hits the grass, chasing after it. Miller Green finally picks it up after bobbling it. Jacob Christian scores easily. Enzo Apodaca's speed had him to second base in plenty of time. And fouling off all those pitches pays off. 2 doubles in a row to start things off in the bottom of the second. The Red Sox take the lead 2-1.
Yeah, that's what you want when you're waiting for your pitch. If something's close, maybe even something in the zone with 2 strikes that you don't like, just try to foul it off. You don't need to take every strike and put it in play. When you work a long at bat like that, eventually you're going to get something that you think is good to hit. Apodaca finally got it and punched it out there to right.
Just straightened out what he'd been working on those last 2. Cranford shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. That was an almost identical at bat to Casey Cooks yesterday. We mentioned it earlier. He also went down 0-2 and came up huge with a bases clearing 3 RBI double. This one was a 1 RBI double for Apodaca, but the sentiment clear to stay in that box, battle off those pitches, wait on the one that's good for you. Second pitch on the way, shows bunt again, pulls back, ball 2. Cranford shows bunt for a 3rd time, pulls back. Coach Pickler very obvious about his strategy here. Doesn't really matter, but Cranford showing a lot of patience at the plate. He faces a 3-0 count.
Saw Hunter Hines get the green light yesterday. I don't know if Cranford will get it here.
And Hammond manages to find the zone for strike one. 3-1 now to Cranford, who just finished up his redshirt junior year at the University of Kansas. A native of Zachary, Louisiana, formerly played at Louisiana State University. Shows bunt again, fouls it back above our heads, count runs full. So no more bunt opportunity for Cranford here. Or it would be a very dangerous idea to attempt a bunt in this situation. So I imagine we'll see him swinging. Full count, runner on his second. No outs in the bottom of the second. Red Sox lead 2-1. Cranford chops it up towards third, and it gets through. Apodaca trying to go for third, and he's tagged out. So Cranford grounds it up to third. Donahue bobbles it, and it goes through. Apodaca thought it went to the outfield, so he tried to take third. Instead, Antonacci picks it up from short and tosses it back to Donahue for the easy tag out at third. Cranford safe on first. Base running mistake from Apodaca on that one.
Yeah, I think Apodaca didn't think anyone was going to be covering the third base bag. It was good defense by Chatham. They were able to think on their feet and get to that third base quickly. Gets them out of pretty good jam.
Chopped foul by Archer on the first pitch of his at-bat. Cranford on first, 1 out. Chatham took away the runner in scoring position for the Red Sox. Archer facing the 0-1. Hits that top inside corner, strike two. The sun really trying to force its way through the clouds right now, getting a little bit brighter, but no break in the cloud coverage. The 0-2 from Hammond. Fouled back out of play. Archer plays at Bowling Green State University heading into his junior year. He batted .533. He's batting .533 here in the Cape so far. Swings through, strike three. Heads back to the dugout. 2 outs now in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that off speed's starting to work, it looks like, for Hammond. Got that one to duck away from the bat of Archer.
Will King with his classic tomahawk windup to get into his stance. He hit a double on the first pitch of his first at-bat, hammered it to the left center gap. Pickoff attempt towards first. Cranford slides back safely. King plays at Eastern Kentucky going into his senior year. From New York, New York, played at IMG Academy in high school. Good contact, pot flies it up towards center. Schallenberger right underneath it makes the third out of the inning. So the Red Sox put 1 on the board. They lead 2-1, and we head to the top of the third on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Top of the third here at Red Wilson Field. Smith Pinson, the Kennesaw State hurler, back on the mound for his third inning of work, facing the Anglers. Top of the lineup in the shortstop, Sam Antonacci. Fowles pitch number 1 out of play down the first base line. Pinson winds, deals. And this time fouled towards his own dugout. Antonacci quickly faces an 0-2 count. Fouled the opposite way this time, over to a pile of fans sitting on a grassy hill out there in the left side of the field. The Red Sox lead 2-1. The pitch on the way. High, ball 1. It's a righty on lefty battle right now. Antonacci swings through and misses. Dropped third strike, but picked up and tagged by Will King. Out number 1, Pinson picks up a strikeout. Bases are empty for Caden Kent, the left fielder. Kent 1 for 1 on the day. He had a blooper single to left field in his first at-bat. Kent is a native of Austin, Texas. Plays for Texas A&M. Flies this out towards left field, sprinting over on it. Archer makes the catch, heading towards the fence. 2 up, 2 down for the Red Sox.
He's so casual in his pursuit and made a catch over the head. That was a difficult play. It's another ball that might have been wind aided out there to left field. The wind's blowing pretty hard out there. Looked like it was about mid-outfield. Ended up about 15 feet or so short of the fence.
Archer showing off his athleticism on the running grab. This one grounded up towards second. Day has it. Pops it over to Hines. Out number 3. A very quick top of the third for the Red Sox. They'll head back to the plate when we return. It's Perri Kitei alongside Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. It's the bottom of the third. Casey Cook back up to bat. Shockingly, he did reach base in his first time, but it was scored not as an error, but as a hit. Surprisingly for probably all of us who were watching and saw the Anglers' first baseman trip and fall, missing the bag, allowing Cook to reach. But on the score sheet, he's 1 for 1 for the day, and he takes strike 1. The sun finally forcing its way through. We've got some blue skies behind us, clouds ahead of us, but that sun poking onto the field. Cook, ball 1 on the outside. The 1-1. In the dirt, ball 2. The A's on the edge of the outfield grass. Hammond finds the outside corner to even things up. It's 2-2. Cook chops it foul towards his own dugout. Sawyer Hawks reaching over, trying to field that barehanded. Hammond delivers. Fouled the same way once again. Cook just poking at it, playing it safe, trying to stay alive in the at-bat. The third 2-2 pitch on the way. Chopped up towards second. Sprague-Lott has it, flips it over to Ballestero, out number 1.
Contact off of Hammond has been a lot weaker ever since that Enzo Apodaca double. That's the last time the Red Sox were really able to barrel him, see if Vieira was able to get back to that, was able to get a base hit back in the first.
Take strike 1, a fastball on that outside corner, hovering right around his knees. Vieira 1 for 1 on the day, has been very solid coming into today. Lined up towards short, on the ground, picked up. And Vieira beats out the throw from Antonacci. He took a second to gather himself and bounced it on the ground. Ballestero couldn't make the scoop, but Vieira was hustling down that line. Made it just in time. Another runner aboard for the Red Sox. Vieira now 2 for 2 on the day.
A lot of infield singles for this team through the first few days of the season. Max Vieira adding to the total.
Hines, who grounded out in his first at bat, back up for number 2. Runner goes, throw on the way. Not in time. It bounced right on the edge of that infield grass. Vieira slid in head first safely. Antonacci couldn't put the tag on, and the Red Sox have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Hines up the left center gap. This drops in the outfield. Vieira rounding third. He's heading to home. Hines sliding into second, stands up safely. A double for him, scores a runner. The Red Sox lead 3-1.
Another one that's just flared out there, and Hines continues to swing a hot bat. And the extra base hits starting to come for the big man from Mississippi State.
Brings up Brady Day, the second baseman, struck out swinging in his first time around. Ball 1 above his head. Day got better and better as the season went along for the Jayhawks. He had a .356 overall average, but batted .391 in conference play in that back half of the season. Hammond checks his runner. Day flies this out towards right field. Coming in for it is Miller Green. Schallenberger calls him off, makes the play. Hines does not advance. 2 outs now. Brings Jacob Christian to the plate.
Number 26, Jacob Christian.
Christian had a hard hit double in his first at bat. 1 for 1 on the day in that designated hitter position. With his 28 home runs in 2023, he became Point Loma's all-time home run king in just 2 seasons with them, also breaking the Pacific West Conference home run record as well for a single season. Fouls that one back, counts even, 1-1. Christian swinging his bat in a few circles, now settles into his stance. Hines on second, big lead from him. 2 outs, pitch on the way. Low for ball 2. Christian wiggles his hips a few times, swings his bat now into his stance once again. Hammond outside, ball 3. Christian displaying patience at the plate. He has Apodaca on deck. In this bottom part of the lineup, he's batting in the 7th spot today, lower than we've seen him in the past few games. On the ground towards short, picked up. The play is made and the runner is out. Antonacci guns him down across the diamond. That ends the inning. The Red Sox lead 3-1, and we head to the top of the 4th on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Top of the 4th.
Top of the 4th here from Red Wilson Field, and it is a 3-1 game. YD leading Chatham. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside. 4-5-6 coming up for the Anglers here in this one against Smith Pinson for YD. He's given up 1 run so far. It was on a deep fly to this man right here at the plate. Lyle Miller Green took him yard out to center his first time up. Framed on the outside corner to make it 1-1.
Unbelievable frame by King. I do not think that was anywhere near the plate, but his effort was rewarded.
Won't get the frame that time to make it 2 balls and a strike. So Miller Green, he's hitting .333 coming into this. This is just his 2nd game of the season. Takes ball 3. So he's tied for 4th on the team in terms of average. It is a very young season. It's very early. But oddly enough, the 3 guys in front of him, Hobson, Fernandez, Casarilla for Chatham as he takes ball 4. None of them are in the lineup today for head coach Tom Holliday.
Very interesting to say the least, as Miller Green takes first base and brings up Kyson Donahue.
Got rung up back in the 2nd inning, struck out looking. 2 for 12 to begin this season for Donahue. Pinson has had to pitch out of the stretch a decent amount through the first few innings. Beautiful backdoor breaking ball for strike 1.
That ball really spun through the air. From our vantage point up here, we could see the movement on it. The off speed just hung up and found that outside corner. The pickoff from Pinson, not in time to first.
Donahue, a senior, Rainbow Warrior. Another pickoff over there to first from Honolulu, Hawaii. And of course plays at the University of Hawaii. Over the outside half of the plate for strike 2 from Pinson. It's interesting to see these roster constructions where coaches have connections. Of course, YD may have already found out. We'll, I'm sure, find out once a lot more permanent players arrive. This is a very West Coast heavy roster for the Red Sox. Grounder over to second, could be 2. The throw gets the lead runner to the back end. Hines makes the catch, and it's a double play.
What a smooth turnaround from Brady Day. His momentum was taking him towards first, but he shifts his weight, throws out of the slot over to Cranford. Picks off Hunter Hines just in time to make the double play. Beautiful field work from the Red Sox.
So 2 gone now for Mark Schallenberger. Red Sox will shift on him, bringing 3 to the right side of the infield. Strike 1 on the inside corner. You wonder how much of a strength for Smith Pinson it is in dealing with runners on base due to his background as a relief pitcher, although he gets the start today. Mentioned how prolific he was during the spring for Kennesaw State, almost entirely out of the bullpen. Schallenberger's 1 for 1 with a double. That breaking ball backdoors in there for strike 2. That's been a location that Pinson has had, especially in this inning. The 1-2 offering. Bounces in the dirt, took the home plate umpire Sam Finn's mask off.
He walks away and smiles that one off.
Yeah, might have got him up underneath the chin. That was a seamless loss of the cage. It went right through, and now he throws his head back. It looks like it is where it got him, right underneath the chin, but there is extra protection there to prevent the ball from coming up underneath that. He looks to be okay. Two-two to Schallenberger. Look out. Comes up near the head for ball 3.
Full count now. Pinson looking for his second 3-batter inning in a row.
And that's in there. Called strike 3 over the outside half of the plate. Smith Pinson gets the double play, and he faces the minimum as he's gone through the last 2 innings in just 6 batters. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 3-1 YD here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. into the bottom of the 4th inning here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley and Perri Kitei alongside. Liam Paddock taking over on the mound for Chatham. He relieves Eric Hammond, who got the start for the Anglers, went through 3 innings and gave up 3 runs off 7 hits. YD in front by 2. Coming up for the Red Sox, 8-9-1. That's Apodaca, Cranford, and Archer. Paddock, the lefty out of Hayden, Iowa, played this past season with Spokane Community College and is committed to stay there in that same city next year and play for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Just so happens that that's the home school of the man striding up to the plate right now, Enzo Apodaca for YD, who's 1 for 1 with a double.
Facing his future teammate, the Enzo Apodaca, who's been hot at the plate recently after a slow start, not a hit through his first 2 games. 3 games, actually. Yesterday, however, he had 2. Today, 1 already. It's his 2nd time at the plate now. Paddock, 6'4", was the number 151 ranked junior college pitcher in the country.
First pitch from the lefty, lined out into right center field. This is going to get to the wall. Apodaca around first, motoring into second. He gets the stop sign there, and Enzo, who was hitless going into yesterday, was 2 for 2 yesterday, and he's 2 for 2 today, and this time it's a pair of doubles.
After his struggles at the plate, Apodaca was kept in the lineup because of his play in the field. He's made a few incredible diving stops, running plays, jumping at the fence catches for the Red Sox, forcing Coach Pickler to keep him in the lineup. Now he's showing why he deserves to be there on the other end of things.
Getting it done on both sides. Now Collier Cranford at the plate, grounded it into a fielder's choice. Squares to bunt, got a piece of it and nubbed it foul. Apodaca, a guy who's played every spot in the outfield. Collier Cranford, meanwhile, has been a mainstay at the shortstop position for YD. He's played in every game since opening day in one point or another, whether it be the start or off the bench as a substitution.
Coach Pickler has been trying to get all his guys in the lineup almost every day, pinch hitting a bunch of them quite frequently, trying to get them all some time here in the early parts of the season.
1-1 breaks right down the heart for strike 2. Our colleague Ben Strober posted a piece earlier today talking with field manager Scott Pickler and said one of the toughest parts of his job is coming up when he's going to have to make these decisions as guys' college seasons come to an end. And that's when the permanent players start to come in. Some of these temps have played really, really well. You're going to have to decide who gets a roster spot, who doesn't. You've got guys that haven't even had a chance to play yet for you in the summer coming in, and says that's probably the toughest part of his job, deciding who gets to stay. Cranford squares to bunt on the 2-2 and takes strike 3. So an interesting development there. Cranford strikes out. That's the first for Paddock.
It was a beautiful arcing ball, just caught the outside from Paddock. It was slow moving, curved through the air from outside to clip that side of the zone.
Nathan Archer trying to break an 0 for 2 slump. Check swings. It briefly gets away from catcher Logan Save, but he's to it quickly. Archer came into this game among qualified bats, tops in the CCBL in batting average. He's second on the team to Will King, but King did not have enough at-bats to render him a qualified hitter according to the stat rules. Bunt is down in front of home plate. The turn by Paddock, and he makes the play onto first. That ball came off the handle from Archer. And so YD playing a lot of small ball right now. Collier Cranford couldn't get the bunt down, but at least tried it. Nathan Archer did. And now there's 2 gone, and that brings up Will King with a runner over to third.
It was an interesting 360 there from Archer. I don't think he quite realized that the bunt found its way into fair territory. Once he did, started booking it up the line, not in time, but Apodaca advances.
King lifts one out to center field. Schallenberger not even moving, makes the catch with the feet planted, and that retires the side. So YD strands a man 90 feet away. Apodaca's leadoff double can't come around. It's still 3-1 Red Sox as we head to the 5th. You're watching YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom 3 in the order coming up in the top of the 5th inning for Chatham, trailing YD by a 3-1 score. Luke West-Poley with Perri Kitei as always. Final game before the off day for the Red Sox. First off day of the Cape League season. Smith Pinson's first pitch is in there for a strike to Logan Save.
Save in high school was ranked as the #1 catcher in the state of Pennsylvania. By perfect game, he was also a top 500 national recruit. No hits in his first 2 games, now 3 games played in the Cape so far.
Check swings at the 1-1. That finds the zone for strike 2. Member of a West Virginia Mountaineers program that had a pretty solid year. Ranked in the top 25. 1-2 just off the plate. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Smith Pinson, we mentioned his relief pitching background. The most he ever threw this spring in terms of innings was 4 2/3 in his final outing. And he gets the swing and miss for strike 3 against Save. So 1 out in the 5th. So he went 4 2/3 against Florida Gulf Coast. That was on May 19th, his final outing of the season. And he threw 70 pitches. Here he's threw 4 1/3. And much more efficient, just 53 pitches he's thrown.
4 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 2 looking for Pinson on the day so far.
Tate Ballestero, one of 2 walks that Pinson has given up. And he's ahead in the count again here at 2-0. It's the swing and miss to make it 2 balls and a strike.
Ballestero batted .288 with a .413 on base percentage in the regular season and 52 games played.
Swings and misses up high to make it 2-2. Remember the St. John's Red Storm program that was represented yesterday at Citi Field when they did the Subway Series between the Mets and the Yankees. 2-2. Taken at the shoulders for ball 3. A lot of St. John's members of their athletic department were there, including Rick Pitino. payoff. Tapper foul.
I have to say I've always had a special affinity for the St. John's baseball program because the owner of my favorite restaurant in New York City that my family used to attend every Friday night growing up, he played baseball at St. John's. So, big fan of the Red Storm.
And he takes for ball 4. 2 walks for Tate Ballestero. Repping St. John's well. He's on base for the second time, and that brings up the 9-man in the order. Jared Spraglott is 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice. Runner on first for Chatham. Trailing YD 3-1. 1 run off 3 hits for the Anglers. Ball hooked foul. Pitch that had some bite to it. Ran away from the hitter in Spraglott. No balls and a strike with 1 out. Pinson now working out of the stretch as he has at times throughout this game. That finds the outside corner for strike 2. Chatham comes into this one 1-1-1. They will play a makeup game tomorrow after their opening day was rained out. Snap throw over to first. That game against the Kitei Kettleers, the only game in the CCBL tomorrow. It's a league off day other than the makeup game tomorrow. 0-2 floated up in the air in foul ground. This ball gets just into the front row of the seats. And the count remains the same. Chatham, one of the quintessential Cape League teams, perhaps most famous for being one of the highlights of the movie Summer Catch, which is centered around this league. That one up high. Summer Catch is a movie for a lot of people that if they don't know the Cape Cod Baseball League, they might know who the Chatham Anglers are just because of seeing that movie at some point in the past. 1-2 called strike 3. Smith Pinson gets another punchy. It's his second of the inning, and there's 2 gone in the 5th. Brings up the top of the order, and Sam Antonacci.
Chatham was one of the first 4 teams in the CCBL exactly 100 years ago. We're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Cape Cod Baseball League this season. Our very own manager, Scott Pickler, has been there for 25 of them.
Quarter of the entire tenure of the league. Falmouth, one of the other 4 teams that has been in existence the whole time, honoring that this season as well when the Red Sox were there yesterday. Lifted out to left, backtracking. Archer looking up at the wall. It's over his head. Getting the wave sign at third, and coming in, Ballestero will score. No one's covering third as the ball slow rolls into the infield, and it's going to be a triple for Antonacci, and that makes it a 3-2 game.
The first triple we've seen, and just miscommunication from YD in the field. Archer threw in the relay, and it was kind of in the middle of Cranford and Vieira, but Vieira was not covering the bag. It was recognized by the Anglers coach who waved around Antonacci. A lot of speed under him. Standing up triple, not just a triple, standing up on his feet.
First triple for a Chatham Angler this season. And now a chance to tie the game for Caden Kent. Fists the first ball foul, knocks the cage off the face of Will King.
The Anglers put one back on the board. It's 3-2. Red Sox still lead here in the top of the 5th.
Kent is 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out to left. And he goes down 0-2. Back pick to third is a close play, but not in time. Red Sox dugout wanted it. No balls and 2 strikes to Caden Kent. Top of the 5th, Chatham has clawed 1 closer. It's a 3-2 game. Red Sox doubling up Chatham in hits, 8-4. 0-2 lifted out of play. Kent fights it off, and the count stays the same. Oh, 2. Look out. One ball and 2 strikes now. Jansen Reeder on deck is 0 for 2. Chatham has not yet led in this game. They had it tied at 1 in the top of the 2nd, but the Red Sox responded right away in the bottom of the inning. 1-2 pitch. Golf foul. Sun peeking out through the clouds. There's some shadowing in foul territory on the left side, but a golden sheen over the rest of the field. Somewhat light crowd that has actually grown in size, it looks like, since first pitch. 1-2. Bounced in the dirt to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. We start so early here. People got to get off work and get here. We start at 4:45 because we don't have lights here at Red Wilson Field. Some folks rolling in late. That's okay.
Definitely filling up here. I've noticed that more people like to sit behind the fence and in those outfield kind of grassy hills than over on the bleachers themselves, especially over here on the right side where some dangerous sharp hit foul balls have caused some injuries to passerbys in the past.
Yeah, it looks like the places where the population has grown since first pitch have been out towards the outfield and the grass. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Caden Kent. Antonacci toying with Pinson at third. Popped up in the air, potentially in foul ground. This stays right of the line, but the catch made by Archer, and the side is retired. A 2-out triple, though, from Sam Antonacci makes this game a little bit closer. It's 3-2 halfway home from Red Wilson Field. Red Sox out in front here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 5th inning here from Red Wilson Field. Luke West Poley, Perri Kitei, and Tedeschi, our entire crew. So glad you could join us on this afternoon turned evening. First pitch comes up high to Casey Cook, who leads off for YD.
Cook 1 for 2 today on an infield single and a ground out.
Ahead in the count here, 2-0. That comes in on him for ball 3. Casey, the UNC Tar Heel, rears back in the left-handed box. In there for strike 1. A lot of these Cape League teams that so far we've seen here between YD and those that they've played have had pretty lefty-heavy lineups. This ball is blasted high in the air out to right field. It looks like it's going to stay in the park, and the catch is made by Schallenberger. That ball was hit 2 miles in the air, but just allowed out for Casey Cook. 1 gone in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Cook just a little too far underneath it with that swing. Made contact, as you said, Luke, a mile high and still almost made it to the fence. Schallenberger had a little bit of a trot out there, but makes the play, brings up Max Vieira.
Vieira swinging a hot bat. He's 2 for 2. Backdoor breaking ball in there for strike 1. Liam Paddock back out there for Chatham. Marked a scoreless inning in the 4th. Lined out into center field. Schallenberger comes 2 steps in, makes the two-handed catch. 2 up, 2 down.
Next up, out of Mississippi State,
That brings in Hunter Hines.
Hunter Hines.
He's 1 for 2 with a double that came in the 3rd inning. Scored a run. Hines leaning back. Another one of those lefties. Nearly gets hit on that first pitch.
Hines, the native of Madison, Mississippi, stayed local, Mississippi State.
Outside for ball 2.
He was a National College Player of the Year. That's the Dick Hauser Trophy semifinalist in 2023. He batted .297, slugging .683 this season.
Downstairs for ball 3. Average slug in the low 400s generally. Slug over 600 is very good. Slug that high is almost otherworldly. Got the 3-0 green light yesterday. Let's see. Got it again. This time he pops it up, foul ground. Donahue giving chase, as is Save, and Donahue puts it away for out number 3, halfway up the line. YD goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. It's 3-2 Red Sox, headed to inning number 6. You're watching YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. New Hill for YD in the top of the 6th. It's 3-2 Red Sox against the Chatham Anglers. Landon Beidelshees, the Ohio State Buckeye, makes his first appearance of the season for the Red Sox. Lefty deals the first pitch home. It's a fastball right on the corner, painted for strike 1. Jansen Reeder standing in. He's 0 for 2. Swings at the 0-1 offering. Skied foul.
7 saves for Beidelshees in the 2023 season and 30.1 innings pitched.
From the wind. Jammed up in the air, shallow center field, backtracking. The catch made by a backpedaling Collier Cranford for out number 1. Tougher play than it might have looked. Now Lyle Miller Green comes up to the plate. He's reached base twice, 1 for 1 with a homer and a walk. Gets his first look at Beidelshees. Red Sox shift on him, 3 on the left side of the infield.
Miller Green's home run came on the first pitch of an at-bat. Absolutely hammered it, no doubt.
Check swing at the 1-0, appeal to first. He went around, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Displayed patience in his second after walking.
Slow knee lift, now the pitch. Flips the top part of the zone for strike 2.
This is Beidelshees' first appearance for the Red Sox in 2023.
No chase on the 1-2 offering. .15 ERA for the Buckeyes this year. 2-2 drops low.
Luke and I have both seen him pitch in person. I saw him 2 seasons ago in 2022 when he pitched at Northwestern, and Luke saw him at Miami, Ohio.
3-2. Beat the shift out into right field. This is going to get near the wall. Apodaca cuts it off in center. But a really nice piece of hitting there from Lyle Miller Green. The Red Sox shift on him, and he makes them pay as he put that right at the spot that would normally be held by second baseman Brady Day, but he was flipped to the other side of the infield. So Miller Green on base for the 3rd time, and that brings up Kyson Donahue, who's trying to get on for the first time. First time we'll see Beidelshees out of the stretch.
We have a bit of a metal pole from the backstop in front of us, and I hadn't really realized the shift was on because I thought that the second baseman was just hidden behind the pole. So when that ball was hit, I literally thought...
This ball is hammered out to right field. Going back, this is going to drop and hit off the wall and into foul territory. Rounding third, heading for home. Miller Green will be in there standing up. Throw comes into third, and it's an RBI double from Kyson Donahue. And that ties the game at 3.
Wow, 2 amazing pieces of hitting in a row for Chatham. I was saying on that last one, I was wondering, where was Brady Day? At second, I lost him. This time there was no shift, just a brilliant hit by Donahue. Drops just fair by the fence. Thought it had a chance at going over, didn't quite make it. But a very hard hit ball drives in a run. Things are tied 3-3 with a runner still in scoring position.
Mark Schallenberger at the plate. Swings and misses at the first offering for strike 1. Beidelshees taking a breath. That ball nearly got out from Donahue, hit one of the poles that supports the fence and kicked way to the right. Nearly gave him a triple. Slides that one into the outside corner for strike 2.
Schallenberger 1 for 2 on the day, a double and a strikeout looking, courtesy of Smith Pinson.
No balls, 2 strikes. Staying alive, Schallenberger fouls it back. Beidelshees mentioned his save count. Kind of a de facto closer for Ohio State. Did pick up the save against my Miami Redhawks earlier this year. 0-2. And it hit him. got it right on the tip of the shoulder, maybe the elbow as well. And that puts runners on first and second. Schellenberger grimacing, but looks to be fine over there on first. And now a dangerous place to be for Landon Beidel. Fresh into the game as he now faces off against a hitless Logan Save. Game tied at 3. Lefty on righty. Middle infield slightly pinched for YD. Save has flown out to center and struck out swinging. And Beidel calls time and wants to talk to Will King. So the two will have a chat about something over there. PitchCom is permitted in this league and used. So King will trot back to his post behind the plate. Grounder over to short. Cranford Fields gets the lead runner at first. Hard slide, but the out is made. Vieira eats it up. Donahue breaks up any sort of double play possibility there, but the Red Sox do keep a man off third. And it's a fielder's choice for Save to make 2 outs now in the 6th. That brings in Tate Ballestero, who has walked in each of his first 2 plate appearances. Choked up slightly on the bat in the right-hander's box.
Ballestero has now reached base 5 times on 5 walks in his first few games in the Cape here. Has not recorded a hit yet.
This would be prime time for Chatham, looking for their first lead of the game. Falls behind, though, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes, working from the very, very back of the batter's box. Beidel all set up. Sends it outside for ball 1. Flown high in the air. This ball's not going to escape the infield. Hunter Hines underneath it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Chatham gets the tying run. It's 3-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Tie game in the bottom of the 6th. Brady Day leads off against a new pitcher for Chatham. Miles Langhorne takes the ball for Tom Holliday's crew. It's a 3-3 ball game. He takes over in relief of Liam Paddock, who threw 2 scoreless innings, gave up just 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout. Hard-throwing right-hander. First pitch from Langhorne is a fastball, and it's in there for strike 1. Freshman out of Greenwich, Connecticut, plays collegiately for the Charlotte 49ers. Was their hardest thrower on staff going into the year. Clocked in at 97.3 miles an hour back in February. Started 6 out of his 13 rather, I should say, appearances for Charlotte this season, and he gets the swing and miss for the strikeout against Brady Day, who falls to 0 for 3.
Jacob Christian, the righty designated hitter out of Point Loma Nazarene, back for his 3rd time around. 1 for 2 on the day.
This one hit was a double, also scored later on. It's followed by Enzo Apodaca, who's hit 2 doubles. Zipped low on the 1-0 pitch. This game has been tied at 0-0, 1-1, and now 3-3 as Chatham has scored the last 2. Anglers have not led. That ball's high for ball 3. YD also yet to walk. And there's the first. So here in the 6th inning, finally a walk for the Red Sox batting order. And that brings up Enzo Apodaca. He has been screaming hot these past couple days.
2 for 2 with 2 doubles on the day so far out of that 8th spot. Been bolstering the bottom half of this lineup.
He's now 4 for his last 4, and he's 4 for 12 for a .333 average on the season after starting 0 for 8. Takes the first pitch low and in for ball 1. Advantageous righty on lefty here for Enzo. Breaks his bat, dribbler right of the mound. Collection made, throw onto first is hurried, but it's in time. And Sprague Lott gets at least 1 out on the play. No chance for the double play there. Believe Apodaca's bat broke. So that ball was just a slow roller. He nearly beat it out.
The sound off the bat definitely sounded broken. It was a nice swing, nice placement. If the bat hadn't broken, likely would have snuck through to the outfield. Unfortunately, slowed down by that broken bat. Christian advances to second, and Collier Cranford, the shortstop, at the plate in that right-hander's box.
Go-ahead run in scoring position for him. Looking for his first hit. Swings through the first offering. Saw the double from Enzo Apodaca. That was the last hit for the Red Sox. They've now gone entirely through the order without one. Pitch drops low, but you think back to that 4th inning, the Red Sox were trying to play small ball. They had the lead at the time, and they were trying to just get another run to get that insurance. Attempted to lay down a couple of bunts, didn't get the leadoff double across, and now the game's tied.
I think bunting is almost a lost art sometimes. People trying to swing for the fences, then that one time they try to lay down a bunt, it goes foul most of the time. I think it's so rare that you see a bunt laid down on his first attempt.
1-2 to Cranford. And he takes low and away in the dirt. Ever so slight check swing as they appeal to first. If you remember to Cranford's last at bat, he put up the bunt a few times. including in a 2-strike count, and then pulled the bunt back and got rung up for strike 3. I was back in that 4th inning. 2-2 rides high. Top of the order on deck for YD. Nathan Archer is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Payoff. Called strike 3. Cranford goes down, and YD strands another in scoring position. Red Sox have not had a run since the 3rd. It's a 3-3 game, headed to the 7th. You're watching YD Red Sox baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 7th at Red Wilson Field. Things are moving quickly. Game time just an hour and 42 minutes so far as we approach the 7th inning. Landon Beidelschieß back on the mound facing Jared Sprague-Lott. At the bottom of the order for the Anglers, he's 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a strikeout looking. Pops this one up high towards the outfield. Apodaca is there. That ball was absolutely skied. Looked for a second like it might drop in the infield. Traveled about halfway back in that outfield grass. Not much of a run for Apodaca, and that's 1 out down.
Casey Cook hit a ball almost exactly like that to the opposite gap in right center field a couple of innings ago. A ball that had some good exit velo just straight up.
Back at the top of the order, it's Sam Antonacci. He had a triple in his last at-bat. Thanks to some heads-up base running and a very well-hit ball down the first baseline. Counts even 1-1. He fouls this one back into the fence. 1-2 with 1 out. Beidelschieß squared up, nods away a pitch, deals. Antonacci, soft contact out towards third. Vieira has it. Over to Hines. That's out number 2. Kind of a mishit ball by Antonacci, forced to run it out. Vieira charged in on it, makes the play in time.
It's a silky smooth defensive play. That was really, really nice work at third, coming around the ball and then in from Vieira. A swinging bunt. YD's going to go back to the shift here against Caden Kent.
Dangerous move after he beat the shift last time. This time the shift on the other side. So Cranford on the right side of second as Kent takes a ball and a strike. Day all the way over towards first. Hines behind the bag. This one fouled up the first baseline, out of play. Kent behind 1-2, 2 outs. Beidelschieß squared. Kent steps back into the box. He's in his stance. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. That's strike 3. A very quick top of the 7th will send us to the 7th inning stretch. The Red Sox back up to back, going 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 7th. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley when we come back on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 7th and the top of the order for the Red Sox. Still Miles Langhorn on the bump. He faces Nathan Archer, 0 for 3 on the day, a ground out, a bunt, and a strikeout swinging. Fouls this one off for strike number 1.
Uh-oh.
And our home plate umpire was hit hard on that. He's on a knee behind the plate. These players certainly used to wearing it when they get hit by a pitch, but a ricochet foul ball is nothing to joke around about. He looks to be in quite a bit of pain. Being checked out by Nadia, the team trainer for the Red Sox.
First season for Nadia. New trainer for YD.
She was a trainer last year with Harwich.
Yep.
Actually, her second year in the league. And he is back on his feet, shaking things off, stretching out a little bit. And he's putting the mask back on. There's a conversation happening amongst our umpires at the plate. Catcher Logan Save walking back over to check things out. And it appears the game will go on. Bravery from our home plate umpire today. Nathan Archer back in that lefty batter's box. He's facing an 0-1 count, no outs in the bottom of the 7th. Langhorn, the 0-1. Archer check swing, did not go, ball 1. Daylight starting to wane. Archer check swing again. Did not go again, ball 2. No appeal this time.
Yeah,
from
surprised
Save.
they didn't even at least ask for it.
Archer flies it out towards right field, charging over. Miller Green called off by Schallenberger in center. He makes the catch, out number 1.
Next up, out of Eastern Kentucky, number 30,
Will King, the catcher, has a hit in every game he's played so far. 1 for 3 today, had a double in his first out at bat, 2 flyouts since then. He's taken his stance. Langhorn deals the first pitch. Away outside in the dirt, ball 1. King has been so clutch, especially in these late innings, both yesterday and in game 1. King came up huge, fouls this one into foul territory, up in the air, caught by Ballestero, the first baseman. Out number 2, Will King has just been under these pitches today, his 3rd fly out in a row. This one popped up to the shallow infield on that first baseline, just in foul territory. Brings up Casey Cook out of North Carolina.
See if Cook can line one up. We saw last at bat he's got some pretty serious power if he can get the launch angle right.
Takes the first pitch fastball down the pipe. Cook in his last at bat skied it all the way to the fence. It was caught, but still a lot of power in that ball. Counts 1-1 to Cook, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Still under the 2-hour mark for this game. Things have been moving rather quickly. It's tied 3-3 at Red Wilson Field as we approach 6:35 p.m. Cook goes around. Strike 2. Langhorne trying to end the inning without a base runner. And he hits him. Casey Cook trots down the first baseline. Langhorne nailed him right in the thigh on that outside leg.
Next up, out of Seton Hall, number
Cook's first time aboard today. Brings up Max Vieira out of Seton Hall, the 3rd baseman. Had that excellent play to end the top of the 7th. He's 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles. A nice frame from Save gets strike 1. Cook, a small lead on first. Langhorne deals, runner goes. This one is lined out to shallow center and it drops. Cook with the jump is rounding the bases already on 3rd. Because he had the jump planning on stealing 2nd and the hit and run was successful from Max Vieira. Blooper into shallow center field. Runners on the corners now for the Red Sox with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
Let's see if Pick tries to get a little tricky here. We saw him do a delayed steal yesterday, and that was how this guy at the plate, Hunter Hines, stole a base, if you can believe that. But we'll see if maybe Pick decides to send Vieira on first and try and do something tricky to get this go-ahead run home.
In Hines' last at-bat, we saw him pop out with the green light on a 3-0 count. This time lines it down the right field line. That drops in the outfield. Hines rounding one. He's held up. Vieira on his way to 3rd. And Cook scores. The Red Sox back in front. They lead 4-3. Runners on the corners again. Hunter Hines pulls through.
Don't need any trickery or delayed steals when you can just take a first pitch rope and drive the run in. And Hunter Hines has been a revelation these past few games for YD.
Seems he just needed a bit of adjustment to that wood bat. Brady Day takes ball 1 inside. Hines on first, Vieira on 3rd. Brady Day at the plate, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Strike 1 delivered down the middle. The infield is not in for the Anglers. They're on the edge of the outfield grass still. Day chops it back foul. Red Sox double-digit hits again. They've had double-digit hits in their last 3 games in a row. They were leading the league in runs and hits coming into today. Runner goes from Hines at first, ball in the dirt. And Hines kind of took a step break, looked at home.
He was trying to do the delayed steal again. He was trying to draw a throw, but that pitch was just so difficult to dig out in the dirt that Save just gave him the base. But Coach Pick tried it again. And Hunter Hines takes another bag.
A little ridiculous looking, but gets the job done. No more force in play. Runners on second and third. Vieira fakes at it. Day, a called strike 3. He thought that was inside, and the umpire disagrees. We head to the top of the 8th, but the Red Sox have taken the lead. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. It's the top of the 8th inning as we approach 2 hours of game time. Beidelshees back on the mound facing Jansen Reeder in the 3 spot for the Anglers, facing a 1-run deficit. He takes strike 1, a breaking ball. Nice movement on the off speed from Beidelshees. Reeder 0 for 3. Swings through strike 2. Beidelshees got him on the curveball. That ball ended up in the dirt, making Reeder look silly. Huge shift on again for the Red Sox. Cranford on the right side of second. Vieira all the way over where a shortstop would normally be standing, so there's a huge hole down the third baseline right now. Reeder fouls it back. Count still 1-2. Casey Cook in line with Brady Day at second. Hines behind the bag on first, and it's line to Hines. Standing exactly where he needed to be, makes the catch. Bit of a shoestring grab. And the shift works perfectly this time for the Red Sox as they get out number 1.
Yeah, you're right on it. You get that shift, and that allows Hines to push over a little more towards the line. If he's not there, that is looking at certainly double territory, maybe even 3 bags. Nice play by Hines in good position.
Big swing and a miss gets Lionel Miller Green on his knee. Strike 1 for Beidelshees. Sun poking its way back through here again as it begins to set. This one fouled back, strike 2. Beidelshees ahead again early with 1 out in the top of the 8th.
Dylan Simmons out working in the YD bullpen.
Pitch on the way, swung on, fouled back again. This time the shift in the other direction. Hines by his lonesome on first, and Brady Day on the left side of the bag. Called strike 3 sends Miller Green back to the dugout. Beidelshees rings him out for out number 2.
This is the most comfortable in an inning I think Beidelshees has looked since he's come in. He's really got command of that breaking ball. He's getting swing and miss. He's locating his fastball well as well.
Kyson Donahue in the 5 spot takes strike 1 as well. This one in the dirt gets past King, but no damage done because no runners are aboard. That's ball number 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The infield back in their regular positions. The first batter this inning without a shift. Another swing and a miss. He goes down. Tedeschi strikes out 2 to retire the side. And the Red Sox head to the bottom of the 8th, leading 4-3 at Red Wilson Field. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Red Sox back up to bat. And it's Jacob Christian at the plate, the designated hitter, in the 7th spot as we reach a bottom of the lineup that's been pretty solid today. It's Jacob Christian, and behind him Enzo Apodaca, who's had a great day at the plate today. Langhorn back on the bump. Christian swings through, strike 1. The sun, the brightest we've seen it all day as it begins to set. Check swim from Christian did not go around, ball 1. Now shadows creeping over about half of the field, but the outfield in the sun. And Christian lines this one up towards second, caught by Sprague Lott, out number 1. A well-hit ball, just unfortunate placement. Sprague Lott didn't even have to move a step.
That's baseball. Hit it right at him. Well-hit ball, like you said, but Jacob Christian still had a nice day at the plate. He's 1 for 3, also has a walk and an extra base hit to his name.
Apodaca fouls off pitch 1. 2 doubles and a ground out today. The Red Sox in a bit of a hitting slump as of late, but managed to record the go-ahead run in the last inning. They lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th. If they can hold this lead, extend, they're looking to tack on some insurance runs. If they can hold in the top of the 9th, they only need 3 more outs to come away with their 3rd win in a row. A ball and a strike to Apodaca. Pops this one up. It's in foul territory. Could be a play on it. Sprinting over, but can't make the grab is Donahue. Was going for that over-the-shoulder look, lost the ball a little bit, and luckily for Apodaca, he gets another chance at life as that ball finds the grass. Collier Cranford on deck. This is the first time through 8 innings so far that we haven't seen a pinch hitter from Coach Pickler through the entire game. Apodaca on the ground, and it sneaks through to the outfield on the right side. Makes its way over to Lyle Miller Green, who relays it in, but Apodaca now 3 for 4 on the day. bouncing grounder through that 3-4 hole. Gets a runner aboard with 1 out for Collier Cranford.
And that's just, those are the things that don't happen when you're cold and they do happen when you're hot. That's the difference right there between the 0 for 8 and now having all sorts of hits in these last couple of games. Those balls tend to sneak through when you're on a streak like that.
Pick off towards first, mostly just to reset himself. Now Langhorne back on the bump. Cranford towards the front of this righty batter's box. Swings and hammers this one through the 5-6 hole into left field. Apodaca takes second. Cranford on first. His first hit of the day turns over the lineup for the Red Sox. And a hitless Nathan Archer comes up to the plate.
Number 17, Nathan Archer.
Archer is 0 for 4 today, but he's had a home run in each of his last 2 games and has been a very solid presence at the plate. Mr. Consistent before today. We'll see what he can do in a critical situation with a runner in scoring position. Huge swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, it doesn't need to do too much. Just get a base hit. That's been what he's done well. Obviously, he's got a couple deep flies to his name, but really think he's a good base knock type of guy.
A decisive strike 2 call on that upper inside corner. Archer nods his head, accepting his fate. He's down 0-2. Apodaca a lead on second. Archer breaks his bat, chops this one to the shallow infield, and he makes his way to first. Some confusion and a giant splinter of wood in the air from the infielder. Sprague Lott at second came charging in, as did Antonacci and Ballestero, leaving no one to cover the bag on first. So the bases are loaded for the Red Sox on an unconventional hit, but it is scored as a hit. So Archer continues his hitting streak, bringing up Mr. Clutch, Will King.
Hit's a hit, you take it, and now you bring up the guy who's been your most clutch hitter this year.
Called strike 1. Counts 0-1, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded. Red Sox lead 4-3. King up towards second. This could be a chance for 2. Got Archer at first. King beats it out at. Got Archer at second. King beats out the throw at first. A run comes across for the Red Sox. They lead 5-3. So King reaches on a fielder's choice, but he does score the run. So an RBI for him. And Casey Cook back to the plate.
Casey Cook, I think, is going to have a breakout at some point within these next few days. See if he can come away with a big at bat.
The 1-0. Down low ball 2. Cook hit by pitch on his last time at the plate. It's the only time he's reached today. He's 0 for 3 before that. Actually 1 for 3. He reached on that almost error way back at the beginning of this game. Pitcher calls time, now resets. The 2-0. In the middle, strike 1. King on first, Cranford on third. 2 outs, Red Sox lead 5-3. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. And ball 3 misses just above the zone. Hunter Hines on deck. Cook fouled back out of play. It's actually Max Vieira. Hines is right behind him. If the Red Sox can get there. Full count. Runner goes inside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded once again for Max Vieira, who's 3 for 4 on the day. 3 singles, including one in his last time at the plate.
Call number 29, Max Vieira.
This is the exact part of the lineup YD wants up right now. Bases loaded. Some of their hottest hitters at the plate. Vieira fouls back. Strike 1 out of play. Vieira, the All Big East first team selection in 2023. Check swing. Doesn't go. Ball 1. Batted .319. 24 extra base hits. Langhorne finds the outside corner, strike 2. Counts 1 and 2 against Vieira. 2 outs, Red Sox lead 5-3. Bottom of the 8th. Outside, count evens up. The ballpark has gone silent here at Red Wilson Field. Everyone waiting in anticipation. Langhorne trying to work himself out of a jam. Vieira up the middle towards center, but he put too much on it. It's caught by Schallenberger. Looked like it might drop before him, but it just kept on carrying. Schallenberger didn't even have to move. That will end the inning. We head to the top of the 9th. YD needs 3 outs to end the game. It's the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Top of the 9th at Red Wilson Field. Red Sox lead 5-3. 3 outs could end the inning, and Landon Beidelshe's back on the bump. Had an excellent 8th inning. Looking to repeat that here as he faces a pinch hitter. It's not Mark Schallenberger at the plate. It's a Will Butcher who takes strike 1. Butcher plays at the University of Charlotte. Skies this one into foul territory. Vieira trying to make a play on it, sprinting over all the way to the bullpen, and it bounces out of play behind the bullpen bench. But that ball hung up in the air for so long that Max Vieira just ran the length of more than a base path, trying to make a play on that ball. Ultimately came up short, but not of his own volition, and certainly not for a lack of trying.
I mean, that's about as far as he could run
to a place that would be considered his ball, all the way out there to the corner.
The 0-2 pitch to Butcher. Skied up again. This time Vieira might have a play. And he makes the catch right in front of his own dugout, out number 1. Red Sox 2 away from their 3rd victory in a row. This one has been close down the stretch. We've seen at least 1 run from one of these teams in every inning but the 4th. It's been tied at 1, 2, and 3. The Red Sox have tacked on an inning in the last run in the last 2 innings. This one grounded up to first and just foul by Save. That went foul just before the first base bag. Hunter Hines let it roll out. 0-1, 1 out, top of the 9th. Swing and a miss, goes down 0-2. Tate Ballestero on deck. Save fouls it back out of play. She's looking to collect his first win of the season. And he gets him swinging. A strikeout for Beidelshees. And the Anglers are down to their final out. It's Tate Ballestero, number 22. Actually, that's a pinch hitter, not Tate Ballestero, who's number 5. Instead, this is number 22. And that might be Xavier Casaria. And it is. Casaria has been a very solid hitter for the Anglers so far. One of those top 3 in batting average, Luke, that you mentioned that was not playing today. Almost hit, but avoids it. Counts 1-1. 2 outs. Top of the 9th. Casaria, the last chance for the Anglers. Ball's in the dirt. Ball 2. Beidelshees, a deep breath, nods, deals. Foul down the 3rd baseline. Count evens at 2. Casaria takes a little bit of a walk to calm himself down.
I think he might have broken his bat. Yeah, he did. Looks like there's a piece sticking out of the barrel, so he's going to get a new one.
They must go through a lot of bats in these leagues. We've seen at least a couple in every game we've called.
Coach Scott Pickler was talking about that at the golf outing. The teams buy them a couple, but a lot of the players don't like the ones that the teams give them, and they just buy them themselves, but expensive.
Casaria grounds it up to 3rd. Vieira lays out, can't make the play. That's a base hit. Archer picks it up in the outfield, but Casaria does his job to keep things alive for the Anglers. And in the 9th spot, the tying run is represented by Jared Sprague-Lott coming to the plate. Sprague-Lott 0 for 3 on the day. A ground out, a strikeout looking, and a fly out. Beidelshees, the lefty, slings in ball 1. Has a nice view of his runner, Casaria, on first. This one line foul up the 3rd baseline.
Really want to put together a competitive pitch sequence here. If you're Beidelshees, you don't want to put the tying run on base for free. Gonna have to challenge this hitter a little bit.
Fouled back into the fence. Casarillo with a big lead on first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Anglers, their last chance right here. A runner on base, Xavier Casarilla. Jared Spraglott at the plate. Beidelshees deals outside. Ball 2. That one way off the plate. Just missed, but King, good back up behind the plate. Prevents a passed ball. In the dirt, ball 3. Count runs full. Ups the drama here at Red Wilson Field. Casarilla will be running on the pitch. Beidelshees gets him swinging to end the game. The Red Sox win their 3rd in a row by a score of 5-3 on the back of 13 hits and no errors. The Anglers, 7 hits, 3 runs, no errors of their own, but they come up short at Red Wilson Field. A complete game up and down the lineup from the Red Sox, Luke. They are hitting their stride.
Yeah, this is a team that has really found it after a couple of days where the bats were really stagnant. This offense has really gotten to its rhythm, and now we've seen most of the guys on this pitching staff throw. Really think that the Red Sox are in a good spot right now with everybody settling in. They're rolling. The momentum is good going into the off day. They're back here at home coming up in a couple of days against Harwich.
Beidelshees and Pinson, the pitchers for the Red Sox today. 5 Ks for the both of them. Pinson goes 5, Beidelshees goes 4, and picks up the win. The Red Sox, in their last 3 games, the score has been tied in the 5th inning or later, and in each of those, they have responded, coming back to win by at least 2 runs in all of those. They now have a record above 500 after starting the season 0-2. They move to 3. And tomorrow is an off day for the league, but not for Chatham, who plays a rain game against the Kitei Kettleers. But for the rest of us, we'll see you on Friday. The Harwich plays at Red Wilson Field. We'll be back. It's a Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network as the Red Sox take this one by a score of 5-3.
Done.